All right, thank you guys, and welcome to my NBA free pick video here today for Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel here that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at brockpage.com. Now, we have packages starting at just $1.99. We're also 6-3 with a push in our last 10 board member tier package picks on that very same website. And the good news is board members get access to every single pick that I give out on that website all the way through the end of January. So if you were to sign up for my board member tier package here today, the math would actually work out to be just $2.38 a day. And I'll tell you this much, at an average of 5 premium sports picks a day that I give out, you're looking at just around 48 cents a pick, all said and done. Now, we currently have over 825 patrons who are signed up and active on my safe and secure website, and the link for my board member package is located in the description section below. Now, guys, with that in mind, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to start with the Thunder taking on the Wizards, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Washington is -9 with the total at 217.5. Now, the Wizards have lost 5 out of their last 8 ball games, and they failed to cover the point spread in their last 3 straight. Having said that, though, Washington has won 7 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings with Oklahoma City, and they do still have a winning record at home this year. As a matter of fact, Washington is covering in 65% of their contests at the Capital One Arena, and they're actually in the top 10 in the entire NBA in shooting from the field. Bradley Beal's averaging 24 points a game along with 4 boards, 6 assists. Meanwhile, Kyle Kuzma is getting over 15 points a night along with 8 rebounds and a couple assists himself. Washington is taking on an OKC team who lost their last 4 straight, and they also dropped 7 out of their last 9. Certainly struggling here recently. OKC's winning only 27% of their road games this year, and they score fewer points per contest than any other team in basketball. These guys have been terrible offensively. OKC scores just 97 points a game when traveling, and they're making only 28% of their three-pointers in that very same category. Now, when it comes to the injury report, Williams and Roby are in quarantine for OKC. Meanwhile, Bryant and Gill are out for the Wizards. And when it comes to the total in this one, 6 out of Washington's last 9 got over the line. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City saw games with Minnesota, Sacramento, and the Pelicans here recently get over the posted total themselves. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward Washington -9. in the over 217.5. Next ball game I have for you, it is going to be Suns versus the Raptors, and that's going to be a 7:30 Eastern start time. Phoenix is -4 with the total at 223.5. Now, the Suns are currently 13-4 straight up when traveling, and they actually find themselves in the top 3 in the NBA in scoring on average per game. Devin Booker is averaging over 23.5 points a night, along with 5 boards and 4 assists. Book's also drilling 41% of his three-pointers. Meanwhile, DeAndre Ayton, he's getting 11 rebounds a game, along with 16 points. Ayton's been great, below the boards. Now, the Suns are shooting nearly 48% from the field as a team. Meanwhile, defensively, on the other end of the court, they're limiting their competition to just 105 points a night. These guys have been good in all areas of the game. They're taking on a Toronto team who's won a ton of games here recently themselves, but they've struggled to cover the point spread in recent meetings with Phoenix. And as a matter of fact, the Raptors failed to cover in 8 out of their last 10 contests against the Suns. And they currently find themselves in the bottom 5 in the league in defending the 3-ball at home. Meanwhile, offensively, the Raptors really haven't been shooting all that well either. They're currently in the bottom 10 in offensive field goal percentage. Now, when it comes to the injury report, Trent, Watanabe, and Barnes, they are listed as questionable for Toronto. Meanwhile, Dragic, he's still out indefinitely. Now for Phoenix on the other side of things, Nader and Johnson, they are out for them. And when it comes to the total in this one, Phoenix saw contests recently with Charlotte, OKC, and the Clippers fall under the posted number. The Suns are also 10-7 to the under when traveling. Meanwhile, Toronto on the other side, they went 60% to the under in their last 10 meetings with Phoenix themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Suns -4 in the under 223.5. Next contest I have for you, it is going to be Pistons versus the Bulls, and that's going to be an 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Chicago's -14 with the total at 221. Now, the Bulls have failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5, with one of those failures being a 14-point outright loss to Dallas. Having said all that, though, that was just a bit of a hiccup. Chicago still got the W in 13 out of their last 16 outings, and they're also winning 78% of their home games. DeMar DeRozan scoring over 26 points a night, along with 5 boards and 4 assists. Meanwhile, Zach LaVine's drilling over 41% of his three-pointers. He's been great from downtown. LaVine's also scoring 26 points a game himself. And speaking of three-pointers, the Bulls currently lead the entire NBA in offensive three-point percentage. These guys have been dangerous from beyond the arc. They're taking on a Detroit club who's gotten the W in only 3 out of 20 road games this year. These guys can't buy a win away from home. As a matter of fact, Detroit's averaging only 100 points a game away from home, and they're making just 31% of their three-pointers in that very same category. Now, the Pistons currently find themselves 21 games below 500 already. And when it comes to the injury report, Grant and Livers are both still out indefinitely, with really no timetable set yet for their return. Meanwhile, for Chicago on the other side, they're mostly healthy for the exception of Alex Caruso. Now, when it comes to the total on this one, Chicago went 60% to the over in their last 10 ball games. And those were overs against the likes of Washington, Atlanta, and Houston during that stretch. Meanwhile, Detroit, they saw 5 out of their last 9 get over the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Chicago Bulls -14 and the over 221. Next ball game, it is going to be Timberwolves versus the Pelicans, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Minnesota's -3.5 with the total at 226. Now, the T-Wolves are on a 4-game winning streak, and they've been really good covering the point spread here recently. As a matter of fact, the Timberwolves covered in 7 out of their last 9 ball games, and they also find themselves currently 13-6 against the spread when they travel. These guys are one of the better road covering teams in the entire association. Karl Anthony Towns, he's scoring 24.5 points a night, along with 9 boards and 43% shooting from three-land. Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards, he's dropping over 22 points a game himself, along with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Certainly some really good numbers out of those 2 players I just mentioned. Now, the T-Wolves currently score more points per contest on the road than any other team in the NBA. They're taking on a Pelicans club who lost 4 out of their last 5 themselves, and they currently have a losing record at the Smoothie King Center. Now, offensively, the Pelicans are scoring only 105 points a night, and they're also in the bottom 5 in shooting from the field. Meanwhile, defensively, on the other end of the court here, the Pels are currently in the bottom 5 in defending the 3-ball at home as well. When it comes to the injury report, Satoransky and Hart, they are listed as questionable to play. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, Wright and Bolmaro are out. Beverly is questionable. When it comes to the total in this one, Minnesota saw 4 out of their last 6 get over the posted number, 74% to the over when traveling. Meanwhile, the Pelicans went 60% to the over in their last 10 themselves, and those were overs against the likes of Phoenix, Milwaukee, and Cleveland during that stretch. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the Minnesota Timberwolves -3.5 and the over 226. All right, next ball game I have for you. It is going to be Warriors versus the Grizzlies. and that's going to be an 8 o'clock Eastern start time. This should be a very good ball game here tonight. Golden State is minus 2.5 on the road with the total at 220. And speaking of the total in this one, the Warriors did see their last 3 straight all fall under the posted total. Those were unders against the likes of Cleveland, New Orleans, and Dallas. The Warriors also went 6-3 to the under in their last 9. And they also find themselves 67% to the under when traveling for the entire year. Lots of unders for this Warriors team. Meanwhile, 5 out of the Grizzlies' last 7 on the other side of things, they fell under the posted total themselves. Now, Memphis is also 8-2 to the under in their last 10 head-to-head meetings with Golden State. So when these two clubs get together, we do tend to see a lot of defense, a lot of low-scoring affairs here. Now, when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game's actually being featured as my extra daily pick tier package play on BrockPage.com. And if you want to access today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99, and the link for that pick is in the description section below. And just remember, guys, if you sign up for my extra daily pick here today, you're actually going to get full access to that package every single day, all the way through the end of January. So if you want to see whether I like the red-hot Grizzlies catching a bucket at home, or if I like the high-powered Warriors laying the points on the road, there's only one way to find out. That's to sign up for my extra daily pick on BrockPage.com. But as far as making a free pick goes for this ball game here, we're going to make a lean on the total here. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the under 220 in that contest. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and slide into our next and final contest for the show. It is going to be Nuggets versus the Clippers, and that's going to be a 10:30 Eastern tip-off. Denver is -2 with the total at 213.5. Now, the Nuggets have won 5 out of their last 7, and they're doing a real nice job shooting the basketball on the road. Having said that, though, the Nuggets did fail to cover the point spread in 6 out of their last 9 ball games, and they also have a losing record against the spread when traveling this year. So there are some problem areas for Nuggets backers here, and let's go ahead and dive into that a little bit. The Nuggets have gone just 9-13 against the spread on the road this year, and that's good for just 40% in that particular category. These guys not great against the number away from their home court. Now, the Nuggets have also struggled getting offensive boards. They currently find themselves in the bottom 3 in the NBA in road offensive rebounding. They're amongst the worst rebounding teams offensively away from home in the entire league. Now, they're taking on a Clipper team who's coming fresh off a 13-point victory over Atlanta, where they held the Hawks to just 93 total points. As a matter of fact, it's been this Clipper defense that's really held these guys together here this year. They're allowing only 105 points a night, and they currently rank in the top 3 in defending the 3-ball. Meanwhile, offensively, Reggie Jackson is scoring over 16.5 points a game, along with 3 boards and 3 assists. Meanwhile, Marcus Morris is scoring 16 points a game himself, along with 5 rebounds and a couple assists as well. When it comes to the injury report, Kennard and Preston are out for the Clippers. Meanwhile, for Denver, Howard is out. Murray and Barton are still out indefinitely as well. Now, when it comes to the scoring in this one, well, total-wise, Denver saw games with Sacramento, Houston, and Atlanta get over the posted number. Meanwhile, 5 out of the Clippers' last 8 got over the posted total themselves. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Clippers +2 in the over 213.5. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at BrockPage.com, where we are currently 6-3 with a push in our last 10 board member tier package picks. I like Washington -9 over 217.5. Phoenix Suns -4 under 223 and a hook. I also like Chicago -14 over 221. Minnesota -3.5 over 226. Give me the under 220 in the Golden State-Memphis game. And with my next and final free pick for the video, I'm going to lean toward the LA Clippers +2 in the over 213.5. And With that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. If you guys do end up getting a membership here today on my website, just keep in mind you're going to get access to those picks that you pay for all the way through the end of January. I always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. Now, guys, we are in, I would say, quite a slump on that website with our premium picks. Personally, my bankroll is getting just depleted right now. We went 0-6 yesterday. I had 6 bets. I lost every one of them. I don't feel good about that. Just unacceptable. It's really piss poor, and I got to do a better job. I'm feeling optimistic about our picks here today. But, you know, I'm not ignoring the fact that we're losing a lot of games here over the past couple of weeks. 0-6 yesterday. That's nearly impossible. It's pathetic. So I'm doing my best, guys. Really like our plays today. I think we're going to get back on track. As you guys know, when we hit a slump, we always bounce back stronger. I hate saying that. It's so cliche. But we went 0-6 yesterday. Just got to be honest with you. It was a terrible day. My record is right on the homepage on brockpage.com. I don't hide nothing. So if you want to see how poor we've been doing lately, you can go to the homepage and check out my current record. Just scroll down. But we do have a couple packages that we're still hanging on to. We're doing well in. And one of those is that board member package. 6-3 with a push in our last 10. But anyway, guys, most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy, what day is it? Happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.